In this video, I am going to explore the extended primitives. So within the Create tab, under Geometry, go and hit that drop down for Standard Primitives, and this time click on Extended Primitives. Now under the Object Type, you have a list of extended primitives. I am not going to cover all of them, but I will cover the ones that I think you will use the most. However, I encourage you play around with the rest of them and see how they're used. So let's start with the chamfer box. I'll click in there. I'll move with my mouse to the top viewport. I'll click and drag, and I'll hold the click. Now as you're holding the click, you will define the base of the chamfer box. And you let go, and then move up. That will again define the height, just like a regular box. Now, after you left click one more time and you pull up, that will define the edge, or it will bevel the edge of that box. So let's go ahead and move up, and then left click one more time to create the chamfer box. Now let's go ahead and hit Z on our keyboard to center our box in the viewports, and I will go ahead and scroll down within my tab to the right. Alright, just like on a regular box, you can adjust the length, the width, and the height. Now in addition, on the chamfer box, you have an extra parameter called fillet. So by adjusting the fillet, you will pretty much control the bevel on each edge. Now let's go ahead and turn on our edge spacing, and you can also do that by hitting F4. And I'll go ahead and increase the fillet segments. We can control the smoothness by increasing the fillet segments. Now looking at this, you can pretty much probably make the body of an iPod. Let's go and make this a little bit wider, and something like this. Or if you adjust the height and make that smoother, you can probably make something like a soap, a hand soap, and so on. So let's go ahead and delete that and move into our next object type. So I can simply hit delete on my keyboard, and I'll hit Z to center our viewports. And next, let's go ahead and click on the oil tank. Adjust the height, click one more time, and let go. Let's go ahead and hit Z on our keyboard. There we go. So if I scroll down, I can see that we are adjusting the radius in here. There's the height and the cap height. If you're all the way at the bottom, this looks more or less like a cylinder. Now let's go ahead and play around with blend mode. That will go ahead and chamfer the edges, or blend the up and the bottom portion. There it is. Let's add some more segments and height segments in here. Again, you can turn on the slide zone tool like we've used that before. Okay, so let's move on to our next object. Let's hit Z, and this time I'll click on the chamfer cylinder. There we go. Go ahead and hit Z. Now this is very close to the oil tank, however you have the top and the bottom two circles in there. So let's go ahead and adjust the radius. We can adjust the height, and here's what the film does one more time. And add some more segments in here around. So you can be creative and use this in different ways. Alright, let's explore now the capsule. I'll hit Z. So by starting and not letting go, that looks like a sphere more or less. But if I let go and push up, that will create the capsule. And here it is. Now let's see what are the parameters for the capsule. We have the radius that controls how fat the capsule is. We have our height. And the size, how smooth you want the capsule to be. We have our height segment. If you need some height segments, you can slice it, and so on. Alright. Let's see. Okay, let's click on the spindle. Now notice that the spindle has the top and the bottom two cones. So let's go ahead and adjust the height for that. You can see the cones a little better. And push those down. So I'm going to hit Z. There we go. Now, if you go ahead and blend that, that looks more or less of a diamond. Alright, next let's go in and take a look at what we can do with the L extend. Let me make that on the perspective view. There we go. So with this, it looks like you can make the walls of a room, two corners of the room. There's the side, the front. Pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and maximize this. And I'll go ahead and spin this. See what else can we make of this. Okay, so it looks like with this, we can maybe make a washing machine or a drying machine. If you move this a little up, we can make a bed out of that. Anyhow, let's go ahead and turn that or delete that, and I'll jump next to the C extend. I'll hit Z on my keyboard. Let's see what that does. Okay, so if I spin this one, and I guess with this one I can make a table or a desk. Alright, and the parameters for that, we have the back length, We have the side length, the front length, and you can play around with the rest of the parameters. Alright, so that'll be it for the extended primitives, and go ahead and explore the rest of them and see what you can make with those, and be creative on that part. And be creative what you can make with the extended primitives.